All set.
Greetings, everybody, and welcome to the Monday, May 10th Board of Health meeting, which is a makeup meeting for what would have been in the first Monday of the month that we were unable to fill a quorum due to extenuating circumstances beyond our control. With that, before we begin, could we please stand and say a pledge of allegiance to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everybody. And for anybody who was curious, we are meeting on Zoom tonight as this is a makeup meeting. Our town hall is well spoken for on dates with the various boards and committees. And the selectmen are meeting tonight at 6:30 p.m. And they can't have too many people in one room or too close together during the current social distancing laws and emergency regulations. Thus, to help work good with everybody and play nice, we are on Zoom again tonight. With that, before we can begin, we must read the governor's statement per town council, and we'll read the short form. This is Keith Kent, Chair of the Board of Health. Permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me. Members, when I call your name, please respond with the affirmative. Tina Santos.
Aye. Here.
Garrett Want.
Here.
Keith Kent, I am here. Tonight, we are missing members Lionel Cloutier and Ed Bond, thus they cannot respond due to extenuating circumstances. Anticipated speakers on the agenda may announce themselves at the time they may speak. Introduction to remote meeting. Good evening. This is an open meeting of the Board of Health is being conducted remotely consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12, 2020, due to the emergency state in the Commonwealth due to outbreak of COVID-19 virus. The order, which you can find posted on the town's website, along with agenda materials for this meeting, allows public bodies to meet entirely remotely so long as reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with deliberations of the meeting. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will feature public comment where appropriate. This meeting is convening by video conference via Zoom, as posted on the agenda found on the town's website, identifying how the public may join. At the meeting, this meeting is being recorded and that some of the attendees participating by video conference. Accordingly, please be aware that other folks may be able to see you, and take care not to screen share your computer. Anything that you broadcast may be captured by recording. Meeting business and ground rules. Before we turn on to the first agenda item, permit me to cover some ground rules for effective and clear conduct of our business and to assure accurate meeting minutes. Anyone participating via Zoom must display their first and last name. All members of the public will be muted by the meeting host. If a member of the public would like to speak, they must either use the raise your hand button on the Zoom software or physically raise your hand on screen so the board chair can recognize you. I will introduce each speaker on the agenda. After they conclude their remarks, the chair will go down the line of members, inviting each by name to provide any comments, questions, or motions. Please hold until your name is called. Further, participants other than the Board of Selectmen, interim town manager, please mute your phone or computer when you are not speaking. *6 will mute or unmute your phone. Please speak clearly in a way that helps generate accurate minutes. For any response, please wait until the chair yields the floor to you and state your name before speaking. The chair will afford public comment as follows. The chair will first ask members of the public who wish to speak to raise their hand. Please share your video screen of yourself to be easily identified when the chair yields the floor to you. You will see a request to unmute yourself. Please then state your name and address before speaking. 3 minutes will be afforded to those commentators. For those of you participating on phone, star notifies me that you wish to speak by raising your hand. Star 9 again will lower your hand. Finally, each vote taken in this meeting will be conducted by a roll call vote. And that is the legal requirement. We move on. Before we begin with the agenda this evening, to our health agent and to our fellow member Garrett, and also for our members not able to be here due to extenuating circumstances, I would like to express my solid congratulations, my support, and my enthusiasm into introducing our new member of the board, Ms. Tina Santos. Welcome to the board as our new elected member. Happy to have you.
Thank you very much. Happy to be here. Appreciate it.
Very happy to have you. We know you love your town. We know you're enthusiastic about participating. I make no qualm about it that when you talk to me about wanting to run, how I told you, I know you're very enthusiastic and I know you bring energy and interest and you love your town. So again, congrats on your election and welcome to the board, Tina Santos.
Thank you very much.
With that, we shall proceed onto the agenda. Okay. We have some important info. We have the BOH Chair's monthly health update report. Many things have changed, obviously, that some know about and some don't in the public over the last week, let alone the last month since we last met. So along with the agenda beginning, we will read the public health update report. Today, currently is the most recent state public health update report, Thursday, May 6th, dated by the town of Winchington, currently experiencing a 4.6% 14-day positive COVID-19 test rate, returning from the red back to the yellow on the state list. The previous month of April began on April 1st with our last meeting with a weekly positive test rate of 4.83% in the yellow, followed by April 8th with our town advancing from yellow to the red zone at 5.35%. April 15th thankfully showed a decrease back to the yellow warning at 4.5%. April 22nd, our town thankfully showed a decrease, as we stated. Notice we went up, then we went down. April 22nd, we then realized an increase again, returning back to the red at 5.18%. Due to our population in Winchington, anything above 4.99, 5.0 and higher puts us in the red. At 5.18% and stayed in the red again as of Thursday, April 29th at 5.07%, 2 weeks in a row again. As of today, our town has decreased back down to 4.6% currently as of the last Thursday report that usually comes out by the state at 5 p.m. on Thursdays, for a statewide average versus us of just 2%. Winchington, while back in the yellow per population, currently significantly passes the cities of Gardner, Fitchburg, and Leominster, who have much higher population density at 2.11, 3.45, and 2.88%. Again, we're at 4.6 with our lack of population density versus these three nearby cities. There's no reason for this. At this time, as of today, the Commonwealth has updated its vaccination information, confirming over 3 million of our 6.9 residents are now fully vaccinated, with at least 50% of residents 1/2 vaccinated, and some now 4.1 million projected vaccinated by the governor by the beginning of June, equaling 60% of the Commonwealth. Now, moving on, it is with great news that we thank all who helped make possible the Public Health COVID-19 vaccination clinic, which took place at the Senior Center on Wednesday, last April 14th. A total of 220 adults received their first vaccination of the Pfizer vaccine and will return Wednesday, May 12th for their second dose starting at 8 a.m. There were many people who had a firm hand in making sure this clinic took place, both from Winchington and out of town. At this time, we would like to thank State Rep. Jonathan Zlotnick, Senator Ann Goby, the city of Gardner for allowing their call center to be used for this event, all those who work the call center, the nurses who provided the vaccinations, the staff of our Winchington Senior Center, Winchington Health Agent James Abear for all his work on the clinic, and finally, any and all volunteers who worked placing the needs of others before self. As chair, I had the opportunity to work the full clinic. I found it to be very rewarding and can't thank enough every single person and party that worked so hard to make this happen for our town. We all thank you and we are all proud of you. At this time, Governor Baker and the Mass Department of Public Health still maintain strict limitations of public gatherings with indoors at 100 persons and outdoors at 150 person maximums. Indoor venues such as restaurants still remain at full capacity, but with social distancing of 6 feet per table, limits of 6 people per party, and 90 minutes total per table, per person or group allowed. Governor Baker announced the following recently, quote, Massachusetts will reopen outdoor phase 4 step 2 industries effectively today, May 10th, and plans to put in place further reopenings May 29th and August 1st if numbers continue to trendward down. The administration continues to take steps to reopen the Commonwealth's economy with public health metrics continuing to trend in a positive direction. This includes drops in the daily COVID cases and hospitalizations. Massachusetts remains first in the nation for first vaccine doses and total doses administered per capita among states where more than 5 million people reside. So effective today, May 10th, large venues such as indoor and outdoor stadiums, arenas, ballparks, currently open as part of phase 4, step 1 at 12%, will be permitted to increase capacity to 25%. The Commonwealth will reopen some outdoor phase 4, step 2 industries, including amusement parks, theme parks, and outdoor water parks that will be permitted to operate at 50% capacity after submitting safety plans to the Department of Public Health. Road races and other large outdoor organized amateur and professional group athletic events will be permitted to take place with staggered starts after submitting safety plans also to a local board of health and or the Department of Public Health. Youth and adult and amateur sports tournaments will be allowed for moderate and high-risk sports. Singing will also now be permitted indoors, for all you karaoke folks, with strict distancing requirements at performing venues, restaurants, event venues, and other businesses. Subject to public health and vaccination data, gathering limits will be, as of effective May 29th, increased to 200 persons indoors and 250 persons for outdoor venues, public settings, and private settings. Street festivals, parades, agricultural festivals at 50% of their previous capacity and after submitting safety plans to the local board of health. Bars, beer gardens, breweries, wineries, and distilleries will be subject to restaurant rules with seated service only, a 90-minute limit, and no dance floors. Subject, again, this is all as of if everything continues to go May 29th. Subject to public health and vaccination data, a restaurant guidance will be updated to eliminate the requirement that food be served with alcohol and to increase maximum table size to 10. Lastly, we would again like to remind the town of Winchington that we will be celebrating Earth Day on this coming Saturday, May 15th. Some may ask why we did not host the event in April as we've done in almost years past, in accordance with the traditional calendar month of the event. There are several reasons. While not a perfect science, we are hoping May will provide warmer and better weather than previously experienced at the last event in April of 2019, and help promote better public turnout as we encountered on that last event, rain, sleet, light hail, and light snow all on the same day during the event. 2, it is the hope of this board, while not guaranteed, that the daily positive test rate numbers by this later date will have trended downward. Again, we are at 4.6 currently %. Finally, by postponing the date, it allows more time for many who want to take part in the Earth Day event to find and receive proper vaccinations if desired before participating, so they can feel safer while doing so. Please come out and join us this Saturday, May 15th, and help us clean up our town. And join us on Earth Day, because Winchington needs all of you. And that is the chair's report and updates of the governor and the Department of Public Health. Any questions about the report? Hearing none, we'll move on to the agenda. Jim, meeting minutes. That pile of paperwork I got from you, James, I don't see it in here.
Deb, are you on?
I have all the permits, James, but I don't have any minutes.
I don't have any at this time either, perhaps.
Okay,
Can you hear me?
There you are, Deb.
hi Deb.
Hello? Nope, I can't
Yeah,
hear
we
me.
can hear you.
If you can still hear us, Deb, feel free to speak. I think Deborah cut out. The wonders of the wireless world. Jim, since we can't hear Deborah at this time,
Can you hear me now?
now we can, Deb.
Oh, thanks, Heath. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. No need to say sorry.
What was the question?
We were wondering if you had any minutes to send in, such as last month's April meeting, or any minutes, because I noticed that under a meeting of the minutes on the agenda, we don't have any Deborah. So I just wanted to confirm with you if we don't have any others ready yet.
Yep, no, Taylor just recently posted the April ones online after I requested it, so I haven't had a chance to do them yet.
Okay. Okay, fair
So no
enough.
minutes.
Okay, fair enough. Good answer. That explains why I don't have any from Jim. So that lets Jimmy off the hook. So with that, we are going to move on to food permits. And some of these will need the regular motions, Garrett and Tina, since this is your first time on the board. Tina, if we have nonprofits, not-for-profits, public entities, usually there is a courtesy motion made to waive the permit fee, as they are not-for-profit industries, just to give you a heads up, Tina. So with that, we will start with Gourmet Donuts. Permit number 2123, permit to operate a food establishment, Gourmet Donuts, 110 Spring Street in Winchington. The $100 permit fee is noted by the health agent as paid. And going through these again, I see just a couple of notes which Jim addressed that are being taken care of. Aside from that, there are no major violations or no major concerns. So we will be looking for a motion to grant the permit for Gourmet Donuts. Does anybody like to make a motion?
Keith,
Sir,
would you entertain a motion that we do them all as one motion like we've done in the past?
we could, Garrett. There is one where they didn't pay yet, so the permit, Garrett, will be subject to when their corporation can pay. If that makes it easier or confuses it, just want to put that out there, sir.
I'm fine with it if we want to do it that way, as long as everybody else is.
Okay. Tina, are you okay with just reading all the permits and then
That's
making a
fine.
motion at the end?
Sure, no problem with that.
Okay, thank you. So we have completed Gourmet Donuts. Next, permit to operate a food establishment, permit number 2124, Winchington Senior Center. Jim obviously inspected this very important facility. We can't emphasize how important they are. Meals on Wheels and everything else goes out of here. James has absolutely no notes, and this one at the end will need to be included in the motion to grant a permit exemption. Sorry, a fee exemption for the permit. Next, we have McDonald's, permit number 2125. Permit to operate a food establishment, McDonald's, 235 Spring Street, Winchington, Massachusetts. On this particular permit, Tina and Garrett, we will need to have a motion that this one, we hold their permit currently as they have allowed, because as James explained to me as the health agent, it's past practice. Sometimes the owner of the establishment has some trouble getting corporation to get the permit in on time. They did pass everything here with flying colors. It was inspected by Jim. They're just, in a nutshell, they're just waiting. Jim had a few personal notes, minor things with the cooler that they addressed. And they unfortunately are at the beck and beacon of waiting for corporation to send them the money to pay the town for the permit. So again, we will have the Winchendon Senior Center where we'll waive a permit fee. We have McDonald's where we will okay their permit subject to being paid for the permit. Deb, if I'm going too fast, please let me know.
All
Up
set.
next, okay, just trying to be courteous, my friend. Up next, we have permit number 2126, permit to operate a food establishment, Sunset View Farm. And there is a permit fee of $50, which has been paid. I looked over these earlier. I want everybody to know. I just go through them again to make sure I didn't miss anything. We have no notes. We have flying colors by the health agent. And again, that is permit number 2126, Sunset View Farm to operate a food establishment. Last permit, we have American Legion Post 193, permit number 2127. Permit to operate a food establishment at 295 School Street, Winchendon. They did pay the fee of $100. Jim, I didn't know if this was one of those facilities where it's waived, Jim. I did see it's paid. Could you give me some advice, sir?
I believe that that facility usually does pay the fee.
Okay,
And just to remind you, we'll probably try and do one more after this, the residential kitchen.
yeah, we'll let you do that one at the end of this one. American Legion has provided their ServSafe certification, their allergen training, and other documents, including a menu with their prices if anybody's hungry. Thank you to the American Legion for all the info. That again is permit number 2127, permit to operate a food establishment. With that, James, could you please read the newest edition you have today, sir?
Yeah, this one is permit number 2128, Shannon Sylvia, 37 Highland Street. It's a residential kitchen permit. Shannon makes cakes and cupcakes. The inspection has been done. The $50 fee has been paid.
Excellent. And again, that was called Shannon what?
Shannon Sylvia, Sylvia.
Okay. Now, as a residential kitchen, you said, sir.
Correct.
Okay, Garrett, are you ready? I think we can make this easier,
Yes.
Garrett. I think we can make this easier, sir, by saying we're looking for a motion to approve all permits as read with the stipulation that McDonald's permit is continued and held until corporate pays the fee. And that we also waive the permit fee for the Winchendon Senior Center.
I will make the motion as read by the chair.
Good one.
Second,
Thank you, Ms. Santos. We have a motion made and seconded for these permits as approved and read. All in favor, member Garrett 1.
Aye.
Member Tina Santos,
aye.
and the chair votes aye. Thank you, everybody. Okay. Up next, we are moving on to Title V for 1130-1130 Alger, is that street? Yes, Alger Street. Jimmy has given me the paperwork, which I hold right here. For some reason, I'm not showing up on camera. I don't know why.
I was just gonna say, I didn't know if you're aware, but your video left.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it going again. There it is. For some
Mhm.
reason, it left. I don't know why. And my apologies to the public for that. We have electronic gremlins at play. Okay, so we have a Title V inspection form for 1130 Alger Street, Merriam, Washington. Now, inspected by Timothy Garrett. Now, James, please correct me if I'm wrong and help me out as a health agent. Was this the permit that was previously approved that needed to be reapproved? If I'm wrong, please correct me.
Well, basically, this is our usual Title V request. If a well is within 100 feet, the well has to be tested. This one was, it has 2 leaching pits. One is 95 feet from the septic system. The other is 99 feet, so just under the 100-foot threshold. They did test the water. The water test passed the required tests. And basically what we're looking for is just the board's okay, and it becomes a passing Title V at that point.
Okay. And this was something that was previously okayed in the past. Was that correct?
Well, I'm gonna have to double check on that. If you want to give me 1 minute, I can yank that.
I just thought I remembered hearing that, and if I'm wrong, I apologize. And just so the board knows, after this, there will be a second Title V that James has.
So can I ask a question while Jim's looking into that?
Absolutely.
So I was looking at the water inspection.
Yep.
Now, being new on the Board of Health here, and I'm not quite sure, I guess, to my understanding, are we just, I guess it's saying that they have a passing water test. To my understanding, I guess the Alger Street looked like it passed, but looking at the 145 4th Street, no bacteria was detected, but if you look, there's like minerals that were detected. So are we just concerned in regards to the bacteria and not necessarily the minerals?
We'll leave that to Jimmy to explain to you,
Okay,
because I don't want to put words in his mouth and then accidentally misrepresent him.
okay,
Because then I'll owe him that
I know
thing I'll owe him that thing Tina called an apology.
all right, because I know we're just talking about Alger Street and it passed with, no bacteria or minerals present, but I guess while we're on that subject, I thought I would ask.
I think he's still looking something
Yep,
up at
I
the
can
moment.
jump in here.
Oh, there he is.
So to answer the first question, yes, 1130. This was previously passed in 2017 by a previous board.
It was previously passed in November of 17 by a previous board. Thank you, Jim. I thought you had said that, but I just wanted to double check. Now, Ms. Santos has a question for you, sir.
Yes, and what we're looking for here on the Title V form, it actually says, I know it's a large form, but it has a page in there that if a well is between 50 and 100 feet, it requires a water test. And what they're testing for is fecal coliform bacteria, ammonia, nitrogen, nitrate, nitrogen, those 3 things. The rest of the stuff on the form is basically more for aesthetics. It's not that health issues. So a lot of times in a new well, we have the owner sign a release saying that they understand that, high iron is was detected. It's not a health issue, but it's going to stain clothing. It's going to stain their fixtures, that type of thing. But for the actual health effects, those are what we're looking for, is the fecal coliform bacteria and, the ammonia, nitrogen, and nitrate, nitrogen, which indicates possible contamination.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, Jim. So with that, and knowing that this was previously passed and approved by a board in November of 17, as James looked up for us, thank you for that, Jim. We will be looking first of all, is there anybody who is an abutting resident to this that is in the meeting that would like to make any comments? I don't see anybody else on the board, but if there is, this is our opportunity to speak at this time. Seeing none and hearing none, we will be looking for a motion to pass this Title V inspection form for 1130 Alger Street, Winchington, as read and approved by the health agent, which was previously approved. Would anybody like to make the motion?
I'd like to make the motion to approve 1130 Alger Street as read and approved by the Board of Health agent.
Thank you, Member Want. Do we have a second on that motion?
Seconded.
Thank you, Ms. Santos. We have a motion made and seconded to approve the Title V inspection form for 1130 Alger Street, which again was previously approved and now approved yet again. With that, roll call vote. Garrett Want,
Aye.
Member Santos,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. With that, James, we lead to you now with the next Title V.
Okay, the next Title V we have is 145 4th Street. Same situation as before. There was a well greater than 50 feet, but under 100. This particular well is 75 feet from the system. The inspector did not note any other deficiencies. And the water test passed for the health issues that they screened for.
Okay. And that again was 145 4th Street.
Correct.
So no concerns with any proximities. Obviously, you just said they're all good. So the
Yep, that-
proximities are all more than acceptable levels, James, in terms of their location to other sites and items. And you said the test all came back good, correct?
Correct. The only thing noted was the well was 75 feet. That was the only
Yep.
deficiency.
So once again, over 50, but under 100.
Correct.
Is that something, Jim, help me out, is that the item where it needs approval?
Yes, that's the one that they need the okay on to make it a passing Title V.
Okay, and since once again, we have a new member this evening, I would like to afford first member Tina Santos to ask any questions of the health agent if she feels she would like to.
I'm sorry, say that again?
As you are a new member on the board, I would like to give you the first opportunity if you have any questions to ask the health agent regarding this.
Well, I had asked my questions in regards to the water inspection. So I don't have any more questions at this time.
Okay. Member Garrett Want, do you have any questions?
Negative.
And do we have anybody from the residents or the general public who is watching or listening at this time who would like to comment on this address of 145 4th Street? Anybody from the public watching or listening who would like to comment at this time? None being seen, none being heard. We'll be looking for a motion to pass the Title V inspection of the health agent for 145 4th Street. Who would like to make the motion to pass it as read?
I'd like to make the motion to pass 145 4th Street as read and approved by the health agent.
Do we have a second for that motion?
Second?
The motion has been made and seconded to pass 145 4th Street for the Title V inspection as approved by the health agent and voted upon by the board. With that, we should take a roll call vote. Garrett Want,
Aye.
Member Santos,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. 145 is now passed. Next on the agenda, we need to get caught up with paying our good secretary. We owe her some money. And I would like to also let the board know that the reason it's important we do this tonight and get it all caught up is because we need to get this caught up before the end of the fiscal year, which is clearly coming up is June 30th and the new year starts July 1. With that, we do owe the recording secretary for the following meeting minutes. These go back a little ways. It was also, I would like to clarify for the board, verified by the town accountant's office that yes, she does need to be paid for these. The following months that we are due back, that we owe the recording secretary for, that were not previously billed for, are July, October, November, and December of 2020, in January of 2021, for a total of $375 due verified by the town accountant office. That being said, do we have a motion to pay our secretary for the balance of the minutes for July, October, November, December of 2020 and January of 21?
I make a motion to pay our secretary the monies due to her for her work that she's done.
The motion has been made. Do we have a second?
A second with discussion, please.
Absolutely. Please feel free.
Just a quick question. I guess, do we have, I know for like the Recreation Commission, we used to have forms that we submitted. I guess I'm just curious, how do we bill? I know we had like, when we used to purchase items and so forth, and I'm not sure how, if this is related.
Well, is this regarding paying the secretary?
I'm sorry?
Tina, is this regarding paying the secretary? Is that what you're getting at?
Well, I know we've paid other bills and such, or I guess when I've watched the other meetings and so forth, so I guess I wasn't sure exactly how they go about like reimbursements and things to that.
Yeah,
nature, I guess.
the secretary for the Board of Health, as with other boards, I'm sure they all vary a little bit in their own way procedurally, Tina, so I can't speak for them. But with the Board of Health, the secretary, after she submits the minutes then go up for review of all the board members and the health agent. Once everybody has reviewed the minutes, if they find, for say, any discrepancies or something they would like changed, those, Tina, are then emailed back to the recording secretary. She would adjust the minutes as read and resubmit them to the board, where the members would then be allowed to read them again. And once everybody agreed on the minutes, in case they felt anything was left out or they felt maybe something should be in, once the minutes are agreed upon, Tina, that then is agreed that we would then at the next meeting agree on the minutes as read and then make a motion to pay the recording secretary. Unfortunately, as we know, 2020 was a little different than previous years. There were some various mix-ups and backlogs. Long story short, the minutes were provided. She just never got paid for them. There was some backlog with meeting on Zoom, with being able to have the recording secretary at some meetings. Due to her full-time employment, God bless her, she actually wasn't able to make all the meetings and had to find some of them, no fault of her own, due to her adult employment responsibilities. She had to find some, get them from the town on disk, and then read them, and then submit the minutes later on. So due to her full-time employment, the pandemic of 2020, and some various other anomalies, such as having to get a disc from the town, then read them, then write them up, we did fall behind on these. I'm sure that 2021 will go a lot better as we move on. But yes,
Right.
normally Tina, she types them up, we review them, note any differences, she would resubmit them, and then once accepted at the meeting by a vote, then we would make a motion to pay her. That's how it generally works. So I hope those explanations explain how it got so mixed up.
No, I totally agree. She needs to be paid, and I
Yep.
completely agree. What I'm saying is, like, the Recreation Commission used to have, like, when we paid bands and so forth, we used to have like the other and I know with COVID world and so forth, it
Mhm.
kind of is a little bit different and such. But
Sure.
we used to have go through the accountant and so forth. They used to have like our specific vendors, and we used to
Yep.
have the members sign off and so forth. So I wasn't sure if this board or other boards are kind of the same protocols, I guess.
Okay.
So I didn't know how that worked in regards to paying.
Oh, no, by all means, I encourage you as a
vendors.
new member to ask questions. I would rather, and I'm sure I speak for the board, we would rather have you ask questions and understand the process than just take our word for it, because you have every right to ask questions, and I encourage it with all my heart. I want you to
No,
ask
yeah, I'm
questions.
just curious, I guess, being new and how the process
No,
was. So
I
if
totally
had to drag
encourage
it out
that.
or-
and I encourage it. I thank you for inquiring, Tina. I really do. It shows that you care about doing things right and learning the right way. And as a chair, I'm telling you right now, I appreciate it. So
Keith?
with that, any other
Keith, can you
questions?
hear me?
Yes, Deb.
Sorry, real quick. Tina, just so you're aware, there's usually an invoice that I submit to the
Okay.
chair. And then after you guys vote on it, the chair signs off on it, and then it gets given to Jim Abier, and he gives it to the accountant, just so you're aware.
Gotcha. Oh,
Okay.
there's the form. There you go.
Right there,
Okay.
Tina.
Perfect.
No, we
All
encourage
right.
questions. We
No,
all
I
have to,
appreciate it.
we all have to learn somehow, and we are all in the same place, trust me.
Great, thank you. I appreciate it. Sorry, I second.
No,
Thank you.
sorry. So the motion, Garrett, you made the motion, correct?
Yes, and I seconded with the discussion.
That is correct.
Okay, so we had a motion made and seconded to pay the recording secretary for the minutes of July, October, November, and December of 2020 and January of 2021 in the amount of $375.00. With that, do we have a roll call vote? Member Garrett Wan.
Aye.
Member Tina Santos.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Deb, you're paid. Excellent. And with that, we come to the last one, Earth Day reminder. Again, we have not been able to have an Earth Day since April of 2019, due in the spring of every year, which we physically celebrate Earth Day with a townwide cleanup, as we all know, to the pandemic. We didn't have it in April of 2020. We have not had it so far this year. We explained the reasons why. We prolonged, hoping for better weather, better turnout, and to allow people again who wanted to get vaccinated, more time to get vaccinated if they wanted, so they could feel free and better about participating. This Earth Day again is coming up this Saturday, the 15th of May, during the hours of 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. If people feel they're still cleaning up, I do plan on hanging around for a little longer to help them load the dumpster if they need help. Last year I was there until 5 o'clock. We had stuff that slowly kept coming in. We haven't had Earth Day in 2 years. I'm kind of anticipating, my friends, that to happen again, because it's been quite a while. We do have roads where we need some people to, hopefully, if they're looking for suggestions. We have down the sides of Tannery Hill, and especially at the parking area at the bottom on the left heading down the hill. We have Lake Street from the Spring Street Bridge cutting across to Front Street. You can't drive over that bridge without seeing all the rubbish on the right that the wind blows down the hill. It's just sad. We have other areas of town but are not safe for the public to work. And we encourage residents also at this time that if you feel your street needs to be done, you tend to your street first. God willing, you have time, we'll be more than happy to have you help out somewhere else. So again, the dumpster will be placed on Pleasant Street across from the town hall over towards the library by the town park. Trash bags and gloves will be handed out as needed. At this time, we would like to go on and thank Rick Lucier for going around and helping with getting the donations, as we were not allowed to ask for them due to conflict of interest law. Rick was a big guy again, helped out, got us the donations. Also, I think something from McDonald's, or I can't remember who it was, I apologize, but the gloves and trash bags were the most important. Again, Saturday, 8 to 2, we cannot emphasize how important this is to have a successful Earth Day this year. I noticed there is some rain in the forecast. Hopefully it doesn't deter people. This is a rain or shine event, and we've only got one shot to make this happen. With that, does anybody else have anything they would like to add about this upcoming Earth Day?
From what I understand, I know in previous years, the dumpster has been left over, has been there until the dumpster company can come and pick it up. From what I understand, they've been there at least till maybe Monday, maybe even Sunday. So there are
Correct.
opportunities. So if, you know, I know they usually kind of close the gate and such to the dumpster, but, you know,
Sure.
I mean, if you do have some bags that you can kind of throw it over, if there are any other stragglers that kind of come around, you know, that need to. I know Rick was wonderful in getting some donations. He was able to get the coupons from McDonald's for the free sandwiches and the free ice cream, those free sandwiches, like, and the ice creams. Lickety Splits also is going to be donating some certificates. I got to get in touch with Gabby Lee. She had talked to me or messaged me saying that she would like to donate them. So
Awesome.
she would like to drop those off, like a free scoop of ice cream for any participants.
Nice.
From what I understand, I believe either Gourmet Donuts or is doing something, and then the Bellitates is going to be doing the bags and the gloves as they usually do. Yep. Which has been really helpful. And then I know Gabby's has in the past, but because of the COVID world we are living in, unfortunately, they were not able to do any of the serving of pizza and so forth. So we're not able to get their donation. So we appreciate them in
Sure.
the past for.
Yeah, it was really important that we limit physical contact for what is known in the health sector of any chances of cross-contamination. Cross-contamination, obviously, Tina, during COVID's a big thing. We would have loved to have handed out donuts again or pizza, but right now there's too much risk, so we just have to err on the side of caution. That's all.
Another one, I believe, Cumberland Farms too, is anyone who has worked for the day of Earth Day. At the end of the day, you can go over and grab like a free soda, or free iced coffee or whatnot.
That's awesome.
So you can just let them know that you've worked the Earth Day. So.
So again, Tina, we have Cumberland Farms, we have McDonald's. Who was the other one?
Lickety
don't-
Splits.
Lickety Splits, Cumbies, McDonald's, and then obviously Bell Tate's with their
Bell Tate's.
donation. I just want to make sure that we give everybody a preliminary shout out. We will thank them again after the event's over at the following meeting. Because people
Absolutely.
need to realize these companies are donating their money to help our town not only complete the event, but any money they donate also encourages participation and helps the town also save money. So we want to make sure we thank them all appropriately.
Absolutely.
Anything else, Tina?
Well, I noticed there was in your article that you had put in the Courier, a great article, by the way.
Thanks.
You had mentioned there was certain like areas that was more, I guess.
Trash loaded.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess but I don't think you had mentioned them, I guess. Is there certain areas that that certain people that should focus in, I guess, or, because I know I'm going to go out with my family for a little bit and such. So I usually go in my area. I know I go down, like literally go down my street and load up a couple bags. Unfortunately, it's kind of bad, but
It's almost everywhere. It's out of control, isn't it?
yeah.
And the
But I mean,
selectmen,
if
the
there's
selectmen
another
Tina,
area
have
I
tried
could do
to,
too.
yeah, the selectmen have even addressed this a couple of times in the last few years, and the onus is on people to stop throwing things out their windows.
Yeah.
We have a wonderful gentleman in town named Henry, who is 81 years old and drives a little blue Ford pickup and wears an orange reflective vest. Jim, I don't know if you've ever seen him. Henry has already done Tannery Hill several times this year, except the bottom where that pull-off is, where there's a lot of rubbish. Henry has also done River Street probably twice this year already. He does it every year. We gave him a shout out a few years ago in the old Courier. This gentleman is now in his early 80s. And if you see Henry in a blue pickup, little blue Ford Ranger with a vest on, I encourage all board members, please pull over and say thank you to this great, great man, true patriot and citizen. He is doing things in his 80s that we can't get a lot of people to do in their 20s. And I have the utmost respect for him. So Garrett, Tina, Jim, anybody, if you see Henry in his little blue Ford Ranger with an orange vest, picking up on the side of the road, please say thank you, because trust me, he's extremely humble. He doesn't want recognition, but when you say thank you, you can tell he appreciates it. So I just wanted to give Henry a shout out. If I speak to him and he's comfortable with me giving his last name, I will. I'm just being respectful to the gentleman for his dedication and service to our town.
That's wonderful.
With that, Garrett, do you have any questions about Earth Day?
Negative.
Okay, we had a lot of information tonight. We had a lot going on. We had a lot to get caught up of, a lot of state developments through the Department of Public Health. We know what's going on now with May 10th. We look forward to May 29th and August 1st with more full openings potentially down the road. With that, I am looking for a motion unless anybody from the board or the public, does anybody have any other discussion or new discussion they would like to bring up?
Keith, I just real quick, on the Earth Day, we had mentioned, I guess, at our last meeting that we were gonna do an all-call, and I know you had mentioned that you were looking into it.
I tried.
Any other information on that?
The town manager wrote me back and said they were willing to put it on their Facebook page and on the town website, but he did not want. our town manager did not feel doing a reversed all call to the town was warranted, and I'm a little disappointed in that. And I did email him back asking for him to reconsider. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be able to use every form of electronic media at our disposal. And that is why I reached out to the Courier Online, and I thank the editor for allowing us to get something in there to help increase public awareness.
Okay.
And that's all I have for you, Tina. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, I did create an invite on Facebook, I guess, like an event. So, you know, if you have it, share away. You know, I'm not friends with like Garrett or whatnot, but if you are, or what, and Jim, please feel free to share it. But I did share it on the Winchendon residents, so feel free to kind of invite some friends and so forth to try to get the word out. And then I guess we do have money in the funds. So I just wanted to throw this out real quickly. For next year, perhaps, maybe we could talk about, you had mentioned about the vests, and Westminster is handing out vests to those that are, I think that would be a wonderful idea, and especially for those that are maybe are on like busy roads or on a something that we can kind of look at and plan for next year's with the funds that we have, especially if we have the 2,000, I believe. Just because for those that are either on a busy road or a state road and such, I think that would be good for safety purposes. And then also maybe even send out like a mailer or something, or I know like Westminster does that. I'd be happy to kind of, you know, spearhead that. So, you know, something that we can kind of look into next year and a few months before.
Valid points. Safety is always primary, especially when I talk with the chief of police. He's really big on safety too. But we also, unfortunately, this all comes down to the financial end of it. Westminster has roughly 3 times our tax base, and they have extremely deep pockets. Example, I have one friend, his taxes on his house are $12,200 every year on his home. So they have a much deeper tax base than we do. This might be something down the road we could possibly approach the Board of Selectmen about and talk to them about possibly finding a way to appropriate funds for it. I know due to the budget shortfall, they don't have it right now, unfortunately, because as you know, I serve on FinCom, and all of fiscal year 2021 in the Commonwealth of Mass was level funded at 2020 levels due to the fact that we had an $8 billion budget shortfall by December due to the COVID shutdown. So thus, because of the $8 billion budget shortfall, they level funded us at the previous year. So maybe next year will be a little better. We can go forward and try to just talk and see if we can get some love on this, you know, but there's no guarantees, but definitely a valid point to bring up, Tina. Thank you. Thank you
Well, I
very
know we
much.
have the 2,000, and if they're looking to do the 2,000, but I guess I just, you know, maybe even if they're not willing to do the all-call, we are having, you know, we do have a new town manager come on, so maybe we can kind of revisit it again.
Absolutely.
See what his opinions are. And then again, you know, maybe the mass mailing and so forth, if the.
You know me, Tina, I don't quit on the first no.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I don't know, I think the Earth Day is, you know, is an important thing. That's always been my baby. I've been doing it for many years, so I think.
We have Garrett and Tina as board members, and the health agent wants you to know, I spent 2 hours Sunday driving all over roads in Winchington. And I'm very sad to report from the Board of Health perspective that Lincoln Ave extension along both sides of the roads, I just counted 14 illegally dumped tires and 2 large soaking wet mattresses on Lincoln Ave extension.
Yes.
When you go down past
Yes.
past where there's a lot of buildings that are, shall we say, not good condition along the way to the solar array. So I'm going to be trying to see what I can do down there. I have to be careful on a broken foot, but I will be down there with my truck trying to get what I can get on Lincoln Ave Extension where there are 14 junk tires and 2 junk mattresses. So when we talk about some roads have it worse than others, yes, they do.
There's one on Mill Street.
Mhm.
There's a couch actually on Mill Street, the old broken down mill building down there.
All right. Well,
Somebody
you know
comes
what?
down
Maybe you
there.
can hop in my truck and we could throw it in the back and we could throw it in the dumpster together then.
Well, I have my truck, I'll throw it in mine. So yeah, we'll follow each other.
There we go.
It's
Teamwork.
pretty sad though, you know, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah. We
It
can no
just-
longer, as a Board of Health, ignore the illegal dumping around town. I have spoken with Chief Walsh and Garrett, so you know too, I spoke to him in the past. And the problem is, be able to prosecute or pursue anything in a court of law, you have to have proof and or witnesses and or video footage. And you can't have cameras on every tree and every road. Nobody can afford it. So unfortunately, that's in a perfect world. And all we can do is try to make up for those who care, those who don't care, with those who do. And we'll leave it at that.
well, on another quick note too, I guess on the dumping of illegal tires or whatnot, you know, and there is some that are in the woods, I guess, that are over by Forestal Road. Or I guess that are,
Oh, you're talking about, isn't that farmland on the corner of Forestall and over past Murdoch Farm? I saw that large pile of tires, yes.
yeah,
We'll, Jim, I'd like to talk to you about that, what our possible options are when you are available before you go home for the weekend. I'd like to discuss that with you and see what the law regards on that, because it is on private property, and if it is farm owned, I know there are farm exemptions. So I would like to give the health agent time to look into the laws regarding large deposits of tires on private property and see, because I don't want to say anything on a recorded meeting where we could be in violation of somebody's rights. So I'd like to leave it at that for now, if we could. Just erring on the side of legal caution, Tina.
yep.
Thank you, though. Anything else, Garrett?
No, I'm good. I was just gonna say that we gotta be careful with private property because we
Absolutely.
can't tell. It comes down to the same thing when we do an inspection of a residential house. We can't tell someone how to live their life, nor can we tell
Exactly.
someone how to maintain their property.
Yep, that's why I said I didn't want to discuss it anymore on camera, which I'm sure you heard. There's always the legalities that we have to abide by like everybody else. Valid question that deserves a valid answer. It's that simple. And we go by the law and nothing but the law.
Okay.
So with that, do we have a motion? If there's nothing else, do we have a motion to entertain a motion to end the meeting?
Motion to adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn the meeting. Do we have a second?
Second,
A motion has been made and seconded to adjourn the meeting for Monday, May 10th, 2021. With that, we'll take a roll call vote. Garrett Wand,
Aye.
Tina Santos,
aye.
and the chair votes aye. The meeting rests adjourned at 7:05 PM. And Tina, again, welcome aboard.
Thank you very much, guys.
Have a good